Hey students, we're going to go ahead and walk through how to set up your binder for math class. So the first step is to take the actual binder itself, and I want you to put your full name, first and last name, on the front of it, and then it should say Mrs. Sherman Math. That way if you lose your binder, it can either get returned to you or it can get returned to me, and either way it'll find its way back to you. Next, I want you to take the 5 tabs that you have for math class. You should have 5 for language arts and 5 for math. So take your 5 for math, and on each of those tabs, I'm going to have you write something. Now, you can write directly on the tab. I wrote mine here so that they're nice and big and they show up in my video. You can write them both places if you want. It's up to you. But the 5 things that I want on those tabs, feel free to stop and pause this video if you need to. The first tab should say warm-ups. The second one should say notes. The third one should say classwork. Oops. The fourth one should say assessments. And the fifth one should say extra paper. Now, go ahead and pause the video. Make sure that you're up to date with all of that you have all your 5 tabs labeled. When you're ready, you're going to put your 5 tabs in your binder in that order. So warm-ups are on the top and extra paper is on the bottom. And then whatever the tab says, what comes behind it is that item. So for example, when you have warm-ups, what's right underneath warm-ups, between warm-ups and notes, is going to be all of your warm-ups. So there are only a couple places where you need to put loose leaf notebook paper, and one of those places is warm-ups. So I would say you probably want 20 sheets of paper or so to start with. Don't count them. It doesn't need to be exactly 20. Get a little stack of paper, put it under warm-ups. Okay? Notes, you don't need any paper because I am going to give you printout of the notes. So when you get a notes assignment, I will give you a piece of paper. You'll put it right there under notes and you'll fill it in and you'll leave it in your binder so you can find it. Classwork, you don't need to put anything in there either. That's going to be mostly worksheets and activities that you get in class that are not assessments. So you don't need to put anything in there. You also don't need to put anything behind assessments. If there's an assessment, I will give it to you. When you get it back and graded, you can put it in here and that will help you study for your test at the end of each chapter. The last section is extra paper. I bet you've already figured out you're going to put some extra paper in there. Don't take your whole thing of paper. You don't need to carry around a binder that's that thick. Take, I don't know, 20 to 50 sheets of paper. You don't need to count them, but put some extra paper back there so that you have it for when you need it. Okay? Then I would take the rest of your paper and I would take one of your green folders that's for math class and just put the extra paper in there, and you can leave it in your locker. Or if it works better for you to leave it at home, you can leave it at home if you don't want it junking up your locker. Don't bring it to and from class because you're going to have enough to bring to and from class. Just the paper that's in here is plenty, okay? And I have some extra paper in the room. If you ever run out and don't have it with you, it's nothing to worry about, okay? The last thing I'm going to have you put in your binder is the syllabus that I gave you on the first day of class. Let's just put that right in the front, in front of warm-ups. We'll put that syllabus, and then you have that to refer to. Okay, binder is done. Next, let's talk about your pencil case. Pencil case you're going to bring with you to all of your classes, but you want to have your calculator in it, and you want to be sure that for math you have at least 4 or 5 pencils in there that are sharpened. You probably have some other things that you're going to need for other classes as well, but for math you need pencils and a calculator. All right, that's your pencil case. Last is your spiral notebook. Now, you have 2 spiral notebooks. You only need one to start the year with. You'll probably run out of space, and then you'll need that other one. So one spiral notebook comes to class with you. The other one can stay in your locker or even at home until you need it. What I want you to do with your spiral notebook is put your full name on the front, first and last name, and then you're going to write big ideas work. Now we're going to have some procedures about how I want you to show that work. We will talk about that later when we get to our first assignment that includes work. But for now, go ahead and label your assignment notebook like that. If you would like to put it in your binder, if you have room for it and you would like to, you can certainly do that if you choose. If it's easier to keep the two separate, that's fine. But what you need to bring to class every day is the binder, the spiral notebook, and your pencil case. All right, that's it. Hope you've got everything set up. Show it to me in class. See you later.